Yo, you are now rocking with Three Sides to a Story, the podcast for the people. They said there's three sides to a story. One side, the other side, and what
Tony
it
B
really
side.
is. Yo, so each week we're going to tackle a series of topics from three perspectives, try to get to the truth. I'm Tony B here with my co-hosts, Rex, Cruz, and Aubrey. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, at Three Sides to a Story. At This is Tony B, at Rex Cruz, at Osaki Bros.
Figure out how to spell it.
You'll find them.
Yeah, you'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find it. You'll find it. So, yo, what's going on, guys?
What's good? What's good?
What's poppin'?
It feels good to be in a new joint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels great, man. Like leather seats and wood floors and shit.
Yes. Space.
Yeah. It's space. Not sitting in broken chairs no more.
No red
You're
light
lying there,
special.
chairs when broken.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Stop lying on them people.
Yeah. So, it's a good feeling. We here with family. Much better location for better content, you know?
Better content. So, all right. So why don't we jump into the content?
jump
Let's
in,
jump
yeah.
into the conversation, man.
Yeah,
All right. I mean, let's start with some new music. There's been a lot of new music there. A lot of hot new music to drop,
yeah.
right? Major legend dropped.
You talking about like that Conway?
Yeah. Them new legends dropping too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's talk about
Or
Conway.
your boy Big Sean or who?
Yeah.
Let's start with that Conway. As soon as I heard it, man, you saw I text y'all. I was like, yo, this is an instant, and I don't usually say instant classic, but that Conway album, man, that motherfucker go. That motherfucker go, man. That whole Griselda team is out of control, man.
In Griselda, where would you put Conway in the?
Conway is easily number one for me.
I agree. I think it's Conway then Benny
Yeah.
and the West Side Gun.
Yeah.
Kanye's with the shot in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's number one.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That dude is, he's special, man. Like, dude is special.
I mean, they call him Conway the Machine for a reason, obviously, right? He a machine with the bars, I think.
Yeah, dude is special, man. I think you only see those kind of MCs every now and then that know how to put together the music and the bars. You know what I mean?
Did he? You think E for real got shot in his face? Didn't he?
Yeah, he got, I don't know which side it's on, but he got,
Yeah.
It looked like he got, I forgot, like not cerebral palsy, but whatever that is when your face get lifted
It's
up.
like a
so-
stroke, dead face almost.
Yeah.
He got it.
But you can't hear it.
Not at all. No, it speaks regular. Not saying regular, but just
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he goes up on Flex and everyone in Sway and blacks out in the studio too, right?
You know why? You know the story behind the shooting in the face or no?
Nah, I don't know if I know.
I
the
don't,
story.
but I'm interested in hearing that. I mean, I know he can rap.
Yeah. I mean,
Shit, what story
yeah.
you need to know? Motherfucker
I
got
don't
shot
know.
in the face.
I mean, something happened.
In the face.
I mean, 50 told you why he got shot in the
yeah,
face.
in the
yeah,
face. In the
Yeah,
face.
yeah. I've never heard him saying like, "Yo, X, Y, or Z."
yeah.
I
What's
got
funny?
shot in the face and I'm still doing whatever. You know what I mean? He's never used it like in his music,
Right.
which is not saying for rap shit is kind of surprising.
Right.
What would you say is your favorite joint on
Oh man, let me open that
Fair
joint up.
God?
You know what's funny about all these projects we're gonna talk about? You know who the common denominator is? Hit
Got shot
Boy.
in the head.
Who? Hit Boy?
Hit Boy is a common denominator for every song on that joint. All right, so I'm gonna go. Man, I got a gang of these.
The right
motherfuckers.
side of his face is paralyzed.
So I'm gonna go.
Yes.
Tony B with Lemon, the joint with Method
With
Man.
Let's talk about Met's verse real quick.
Meth don't age.
Man, Met, I think he's gotten, in fact, better with age.
I agree.
I dare say.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
He is a he is a rare breed. He's like a black thought to me, and I think Met don't get put up there in that upper echelon conversation. I think people always give him his props as like, he's an icon in the culture, but I don't think he ever gets his props 100% in terms of how great of an MC he is. I mean, and now he's not even, now he doesn't even cuss. Like, and I mean, not that I've like shaped his bars back in the day, but it's just impressive to hear, that progression. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it's I think it's impressive.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, man. Meth is getting better. I think it's the clarity, the age, the wisdom. All that is brought, he brought that to the table, man. And I just saw a battle the other day with him and one of the cats from the Battle Leagues. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
But I can't think of dude's name. Hitman, Hoffa, Math Hoffa. Did y'all see that? He battled Math Hoffa. It was dope. It was highly produced, like a little film. It was like maybe a 10-minute battle.
I think the reason probably cats never really checked meth like that because, I mean, I did. But then I think because it was always like the weed thing and it was always looked at kind of like as novelty.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like
yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, him and Redman.
Yeah. Even though Redman was cats always knew Redman was rapping.
Yeah,
at least to me.
Yeah, no, Red is elite.
Yeah.
Ever since, excuse me, ever
yeah,
since, yeah.
But I mean, you even think about Method Man though. You go back to when Wu was coming out. Like, I mean, that's what Meth was like the face of the Wu when they first came out. He had the first. I think it was the first. He had the first solo album, right?
No, Genius had the first one. Jizza.
That's right. Okay.
Jizza
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the first one, and then
Meth.
And then Meth. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think what
And then it was Ray and Ghost. Yeah.
I think what hurt Meth, man, to be honest, was he started doing all that goofy shit, like
That's what I was.
that.
Literally
What was it? The Method Man and Red Man
that
show.
comedy, like
I mean, he became a star.
he was it was a star, but you kind of was looking like as a character.
He looked at exactly.
You were
like
a character.
how I.
Yeah, all that
How
shit.
I. Yeah.
Like I say, for some reason, I feel like Redman had established himself, like, because he had more material, I feel,
Right.
at that point. Method Man only had the one album and a bunch of appearances and a bunch of spoofs and, goofy shit.
Yeah.
So I feel cats wasn't really looking at him in that same, like, they weren't taking him serious,
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true.
And that's what to me that's what's gonna separate forever, like Griselda and Wu-Tang. Not that they should be compared, but the RZA, I feel like kind of slowed Wu-Tang down a little bit, right? Like, because he only forced them, like, within that group to work with him. So then everything sounded the same. Griselda shit,
It's his shit, though.
It was, yeah. He's a businessman.
It's my shit. Not my shit, but it's my shit.
Yeah.
Right.
But Griselda go everywhere. They go to, what's the white cat's name in New York that do everybody's shit? Mob
Fraud.
Deep? No, do Mob Deep.
Harry Fraud. Alchemist.
Alchemist. They'll go to
yeah,
Alchemist. They'll go to Hit Boy. They bounce around, and what make their shit sound the same as they how they spit.
Well, their shit is the content, is the music, and I guess to compare it to the Wu-Tang, it was the sound because it was RZA's sound.
It was RZA's sound that we had nobody had heard.
Nobody
that
really
before.
wasn't hitting it like that. So
No.
that was the
yeah.
difference.
But I think that's how initially, like before they started working with like Alchemist and everybody, that was kind of their thing. Like they had that Derringer was producing like all of their joints, right? So
Yeah.
like it was kind of like you just said, Mark. Like everything was the same, or like in the same vein. Like kind of like you knew a RZA beat when Wu was spitting, you knew it was a Derringer beat when
That's right.
when Griselda was spitting.
Right.
But going back to what you were saying about, who was behind all that, like, Hit Boy and everything.
Hit Boy.
That is something I want to talk about because one of my homies, there's a producer out in Chicago, threw up some arrangements he had that are like the identical arrangements that are used on Fear of God on the title track.
On Fear of God. Who's Fear of God?
On the Conway joint.
Oh, the Conway joint. Oh, for real?
That Hit Boy produced. Yeah. I'm not, throwing out.
So what does that mean? What is he saying? I mean, because he could have been. Was he brought in as a producer?
He wasn't credited.
Well, sometimes you don't get credited. Did he get paid?
No, he didn't get paid.
Oh,
or
that's
credited.
fucked up. He got fucked.
Yeah. No shots. Respect to Hit Boy, but I mean people got receipts. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that has been happening a lot. Where people are able
since
to
the
grab
beginning of
these-
music. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good segue into, I don't know if y'all want to talk about that Big Sean or any of that, but that's a great segue into that Kanye thing, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Open to hear a little more about it for sure, though.
Yeah. I do want to talk about. I do want to talk about the Nas before we get into Big Sean or Kanye real quick.
Yeah.
That Nas, what did you think of King's Disease? The new Nas
Yeah.
project.
That's the name of the whole album, right?
Man, that's tough. I love that. Man, I love that.
I put it on and listened to it like 6 times, and I'm waiting for it to hit me still.
Okay, so let me ask you why so okay,
Oh,
so
you're not vibing?
I mean, I am, but you know what I mean? Like,
really? Okay.
I don't know.
After a while, it's hard to listen to Nas. Man.
Yeah.
Just after a while, vocally, it's just a little difficult.
So I guess the whole thing with this album is historically Nas has been criticized for his
Music.
beat selection, right? So this album he went
He got the
all
beats.
Hit Boy and like it was gonna be. So one of the criticisms I heard and I knew people were gonna make was that he didn't pick Hit Boy's hottest beats.
Nas picks sleepy beats.
Yeah, they're like he picked the Nas beats that
The
Hit
Nas
Boy had,
sleepy beats,
right?
like, oh, I like this one, instead of being like, give me the banger.
Yeah.
And man, you know what? I'm here to say I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing because I think Nas sounds great. To me, Nas is one of the. To me, Nas is top 3.
Be careful.
He's top 3.
Be careful.
He's top 3.
Ooh, that's tough.
He's top 3.
Dead or alive?
Yes.
Ooh, that's
100%. Yes.
That's tough.
Nas is top 3.
What you got, Rex? You think he top 3?
Well,
Dead or alive? Ooh, that's tough. Nah.
I mean, he'll be in the top group.
Yeah, he in the top 10 for
He
sure.
in the top group.
Yeah, he
I
definitely.
mean, but I don't want to say I get disappointed. I mean, after halftime, you know what I mean, like Illmatic, excuse me. I mean, a bunch of them other ones are cool.
Yeah, that shit is
Yeah.
throw.
You
Some
know
of them
what I
is
mean?
throwaway albums.
It is cool. Like, I think that's the problem with loses me with him. I definitely rock with Buddy, but I feel like my expectations are always never met
Yeah,
when it come out.
yeah.
So
And
even with the Hit Boy beats, it wasn't was it a hit or a miss?
That was cool.
It's a hit. It's
It's
definitely a
cool.
hit.
It's
It's a
definitely
hit.
cool. It's not
Yeah, it's a
trash.
Okay.
It's definitely not garbage. It's not trash. It's not throw it away. But it wasn't like to me.
So were any of the joints on that album standout joints to you that you remember now?
Yeah, they
I'd
were
have to hear 'em.
definitely.
Probably like 2 or 3 to me.
Yeah, it was a couple of them. I can't remember.
I would have
That's
to-
that's kind of
exactly.
the point, right?
I would have to hear 'em.
Blue Bands was definitely I think a standout joint.
You would have to refresh me.
Car 85 with Charlie Wilson was a standout
That one was
joint.
that's an
I
ill joint.
remember that.
The joint with Anderson .Paak, what was it called? All Bad. That was a dope joint. I think the other 2 joints I thought really stood out. Till the Wars one with Lil Durk. All right, that joint I thought was kind of dope.
They're making you like that.
Yeah,
Dirk been showing up.
Yeah,
Dirk
that's what I'm
been
saying. They've
showing
been
up.
making you like that.
Yeah,
He flexing big with the features. He did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He had the Drake
Drake.
feature.
yeah. He showed up for that one.
I guess Chicago
Drake and never
they
throwing
need Chicago
shots.
to do something, so they got to grab your boy Dirk over.
Man, speaking of Chicago, I ain't gonna switch it up too much, but man, that Vic Mensa album though.
The V tape.
Yo, Vic is spitting, man.
Vic is back to old Vic.
Yeah,
Like,
and he was always nice with it.
he was always nice, but he took a left turn
He did
for
He
a
did.
minute.
I like the new. I like him
sharp
coming
left.
back to this spitting lane. Like,
You see who he got on a lot of the credits that he worked with, though. Oh, you ain't peep him out.
no, who was that?
Just pull it up and take a look. But like you said, sounds Chicago, but he got, Yusef, your boy Terry Parker.
Oh, Malik.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Malik
yeah,
and
yeah.
Juice.
Juice.
Yeah.
Oh, Juice on that? You told me that. Yeah.
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 That's.
I know
But he
over the
also
last-
said I saw an interview. He said he moved back to the crib.
That's
too.
what I said over the last year. He's definitely kind of refreshed the whole.
Yeah.
And I like that it looks like he's still, with the Rock Nation thing, it looks like he's still working like with people like Biggs over because he got like St. John on a feature on the album.
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
that's a really good vibe,
Mixed lane.
Vic and, yeah.
And, yeah.
So that V tape is hot.
He got like 5 joints on there.
yeah, it's a nice
something that
joint.
go. It's something that
That
go.
Machiavelli
He
joint
He
is hot.
almost missed.
That one joint about the L Rookins, that motherfucker. Go.
Right. Freestyle or whatever at the front.
Oof. That
Yo,
motherfucker
jumping back real quick to that Nas, though, I want to talk about 2 tracks. Full Circle. So the reunion of the Firm. That joint was a standout joint to me. I think it was also a joint that people were anticipating, and people wanted to kind of hear the Firm again from a nostalgia perspective. To me, I wanted to hear what AZ was gonna spit.
Why he ain't been rapping right?
Who?
AZ.
What you mean?
No, go ahead. I mean, the same. Yeah, definitely waiting for him. Spit.
Of like what? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So like to me that was dope. What do y'all AZ? What do y'all think of AZ?
I was definitely rocking with. I mean, he definitely had the voice and definitely had the music. Like I said,
Yeah, the bars. Yeah.
I mean, he's had a couple of throwaway albums over the last call it 12 years, but like, why ain't been making music?
Yeah, he got lost in Nas' shadow, man.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shadow
And he
was
might
too
actually
big.
was as good as Nas at one point, at least
Yeah.
in the same lane. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, this my young boy I got with me.
Yeah.
I mean, he always went toe to toe with him on
That's
tracks,
what I'm saying.
right? Like,
It wasn't like a young boy.
Right.
It's my
Yeah.
man.
but pretty much outshone him on Life's a Bitch,
Life's a bitch. That's what I remember. Life's a bitch in Belly.
You're right.
right?
his cameo in Belly.
In
That's
the
it.
movie, right.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Like,
In
that's
the
the only
movie.
thing about it. Like, you don't
That's what I'm saying. Then
you
why
don't
ain't
remember
rap after that?
Right. You don't remember stuff from AZ.
But Hit Boy, though, going back to Hit Boy, I think, though, Hit Boy, he's definitely top tier right now when it comes to all the production, man. Like, the shit he did on that Nas album, too, I think he did The Cure, because, he did all the tracks on there, right?
He did the whole album, right?
Yeah, the whole album. The Cure, I thought was a very standout track. Obviously there was a dope shout out to Kobe and Nip, but I think it was also dope, like the beat switch that I think went very well with Nas's
Now
Nas's flow.
that Big Sean and Nip. Whew.
Oh, deep reverence. Yeah.
You heard that joint? Boy,
Yeah.
it just sounds good to hear Nip's voice, man.
So if I'm not mistaken, and maybe I am, I got to double check this. So don't hold me to this, but I think that from what I read was a Nipsey verse that Hit Boy had on one of his joints,
So you put it with it.
and then Big Sean
Oh, really?
jumped on it. I don't know if it was I think that's what I read. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a very dope collab.
Yeah, it's just good to hear Nip's voice, man.
Yeah, and
That shit sound great.
shout out to Big Sean for bringing that track to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
That was dope. That song is amazing. I'm one of the people that I think is out there that rides for Big Sean. I think Big Sean gets slept on a lot too. I think
He
Big
was sleepy at one point.
I definitely slept on dude. I wasn't a big fan.
Nah, he definitely, he used to be not really hot.
Yeah. But I think Big Sean's bar gets slept on sometime, man.
Oh, he's hard. Not hard. Hard's never the right word for Big Sean, but he definitely got bars.
He got bars. He
Yeah,
got
he
bars.
got bars.
He got bars.
100% he got bars.
But I'm not listening to that shit every day.
No. I remember, but I'm just saying, I remember, on Detroit versus Everybody on that shady.
He's matured on the lyric
I think he
side.
blacked out more than Eminem and Royce on that joint.
he definitely he matured on his music side and his music was boring at one point. And then
Yeah.
I think of the cadence switch, the content switch. The punchlines kind of switched.
But he talks about going through depression and then the loss of relatives and how it affected him and stuff too. So I think that probably impacted some of the output maybe. But I don't know. There's some joints on just going back to the music. I think there's joints on this album like that Friday Night Cypher, for example. Right? It's mad at people on it.
Man, you remember names. Of
That's crazy.
Like
'cause
nobody's business. I have no idea
I'm sitting there
what
thinking
you're
like,
talking
damn, which one was that?
about. You have no
No,
idea.
the reason I'm remembering that joint is because it's something. It's a joint I wanted to talk about, but B is because Eminem and Royce were on it, right? So it was like one of
Detroit
the
theme song.
this is an anticipated song, and then
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
so it's a bunch of cats from Detroit, spitting in a cipher, basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Cool, but then I don't this is the question I wanted to ask. Eminem once again comes on this, every other feature he's doing recently, and they give him 45 minutes to spit a verse, so he basically takes over the whole song, so. As an artist, would you want I get you having a legend coming on and they're spitting, you want to give him Bam, Runway to do their thing. But damn, I don't want no legend coming on and outshining me. Not necessarily outshining me, just having more runway on the track than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get why Eminem still gets these. And it's not just Big Sean. It's every time he's on a feature now. They give Eminem like the last verse every time. And then it's like his verse is like 2 times longer than everyone else's verse. Does Eminem still deserve that feature? And is Eminem that top tier of a MC? Is he one of the GOATs?
Oh, shit.
You probably need Eminem on your track more than Eminem needs to be on your track.
100%.
In the grand scheme of things. So it's like, and that's not even saying like I'm hyping Eminem like, oh my gosh, that's the best rapper ever. But in the position I feel that he's in, and probably I would presume with most cats, I mean, I don't want to say like Jay, but it's like, you know what I mean? If I'm going to get on your track, I guess I'm going to kind of get on it how I want to get on it, right? You know, like how I feel is going to best make me look at that point. Because, I mean, maybe in his sense, he's like, I got to protect myself. I got to protect, I can't let you outshine me, right? I can't let you outshine me. So I'm going to take the end. He might be like, send all your verses first and then let me finish mine. I don't know. I'm just making
I
that
look
shit
at
up.
it. I look at it like hypothetically, if records were still selling, right? If I wanted to open a record shop in Chicago, I'm only going to talk to George Daniels, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to cut OG off. I'm going to let him talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's something to be learned from and cherished from the people who kicked that door open. And M kicked it open, especially for that. I'm not going to say he should be on the album with Jay or Nas and have the longest. He shouldn't. He should be on equal footing.
Nah, that's all the same page then, right?
Yeah, but then when you got all these little young cats from Detroit that are still nice spitters, yeah, you want to separate him a little bit. You want to show homage to why everybody that's on this album right now is probably because of him to a certain degree.
And it's Detroit.
I feel that.
Because if we was in Milwaukee, niggas is gonna let Cuckoo Cal spit until he can't spit no more.
Just off the strength, right?
Off the strength.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's not just a joint like this Cypher joint with like from coming cats from Detroit where you're giving everybody a showcase and then M just wraps it up. Like, it's every feature he does now. Like, he can't do a feature where it's not like.
Do you tell Jay to cut his verse? Do you tell
Jay might give you 16 if you lucky.
But I'm saying, but
Jay
if he came
is very
in longer,
conservative with what he give you on there.
But I'm saying, would you tell Jay not to do this? Would you tell Michael Jackson he got to cut his shit?
No, but I'm just saying, like, does Eminem still warrant a presumed every time you on the track?
You're talking about him right now.
Yeah,
right?
he warrants all of that.
So that brings me back to the other question: where is he in the ranking of the GOATs? Like, is he top 5? Is he top 10? Is he top 20? Where do we?
I say he's in somewhere between 15 and 20. He's somewhere
15
around
and 20.
15 and 20. There's a lot of cats that I personally think is doper than M. I think he get that shine because he's a white boy too. But he's nice though. So you can't take it away. He's nice.
I feel like you gotta, I mean, if you were to say we're not looking at your music, we're just looking at, we know niggas that can rap. And I guess people that can rap. Right? He's definite in the top 7-ish.
Yo, he got to be in the top.
I'm not talking about like albums. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you separate the albums, if you had a bunch of MCs or rappers or however you want to call them or denominate, or, decipher them or whatever, and you were like, you guys, everybody's about to do this, for lack of a better word, like a freestyle or something of that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking he's definite in there. I mean, one of the tops is going to be Black Thought, right?
Black Thought, yeah, you,
Black Thought,
you,
yeah,
you definitely one of the nicest out there.
Yeah. But I mean, M and Black Thought have ciphered together too, and
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Who can he not hang with?
And he's hanging with them.
We're not talking about going to buy his album. I'm saying if you're talking about cats that can just rap.
That's what I'm saying. So how can M would never be in your top 10? He may be on the back end. Of
on the rap side or on the album side?
On the rap side.
Give me 10 cats that are better than them. On the rap side.
On the rap side, I put him
on the
way
rap
higher
side.
than on
I'm not
the
talking about
side.
on the album side. That's why I'm.
On the
that's
rap
why I'm
side,
separating
he's
it.
very high up. But
yeah, If you put a,
we're
again,
talking
if you,
dead. We're talking dead or alive too, right?
yeah.
All right, so we know the two that's gonna always be in there.
Pac, Big.
Pac and Big, right?
Yeah.
Honestly,
100%,
Pac
yeah.
might not even be. Well, yeah. I ain't even gonna try to blaspheme Pac. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So you got two there. You got Nas.
Not
right?
even in order, but
not even in
yes.
order. You got Nas. You got Cool G Rap.
Yeah.
You got Rakim.
Yeah.
You got Black Thought.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
got
Hov.
You got Hove.
you got Hove.
Yep.
You got Mos Def.
Yep.
Man, it's
got
it's
L.
like
You got Calm.
You got Calm.
you got Calm. You got it's him is somewhere in there. He's in 10.
You got Big L. You got
Big L.
Big L only had one album that
But
was
he
good.
can rap.
Big L. But
He
Big
can
L.
rap his
That ain't
ass
his
off.
fault. He got
But
killed.
Big L was on tracks on freestyles with Hove
And Pac.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
still
I
in the
agree.
show.
I agree, man. There's some cats out there.
AZ, I think is in that conversation. Just off of bars.
I don't know.
AZ?
Off of bars.
You bugging out now.
That was like,
Nah,
I
you
don't
crazy.
know.
You bugging out.
AZ is 100% top 20.
I don't even know if I heard enough freestyle from Buddy.
Yeah, I can't play it.
Nah, man, I'm not.
I mean, I
game.
like him as we said before. Check the
We
tape.
know-
I
obviously,
might put
but-
my song in there, low key.
Who?
My
AZ
song.
I agree. He's a top caliber MC, but I mean, I'm gonna have to put y'all on some AZ joints before we can have that
I
conversation.
never bought an AZ album in my life.
I bought several. You never bought Do or Die or anything?
Yeah, I did.
Do or Die from Chicago.
Do or Die.
Do or
AZ.
Die. AZ.
Nah, I ain't buy no AZ.
Sugar Hill?
Oh, that single. Yeah, I bought that. It was like 99 cents though.
Damn.
But I'm saying I'll buy that because it was just a,
It was a dope track.
Okay. All right, before we jump off music, the last thing I want to touch on real quick. Kanye and these contracts.
Yeah.
So, let's just quickly set the stage. Kanye tweeted out his entire contract, but he's also like talking
But
about.
hold on, talk about what happened up to that. He was tweeting every 30 minutes, maybe every 10 minutes, just random thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And then he got into the contract, boy.
Yeah.
He was going, did you see how many tweets he put out there?
Nah, I've been trying to avoid all that. Not avoid, I ain't even gonna lie, but just like.
It's interesting to watch, man. You should check it out.
It is. But I
mean, it
been
was-
seeing all the other clustered conversations about everything else, so I'd be chilling.
Yeah, no, it was probably how many, Tony? It had to be at least maybe 40 tweets. He was just going back and forth.
I mean, yeah, he was drawing the parallels with Prince and Michael Jackson and owning your masters and.
Yeah.
He probably was making sense.
It does. It does. The same way we make. So, peep this. It's the same thing we was saying a while ago when we was talking about at that other place we was at that should remain nameless, the other studio. When we was talking to them about like, they was like, yo, do y'all own y'all ideas when you work in advertising? Like, we give ideas away.
Once
on
you
those.
say it in the space, it's everybody's.
Once you put it on the table, it's gone. Kanye's point, I think to a certain degree, was no, motherfucker, it's not gone.
It's my shit.
This is my shit, and you can lease it for a year.
Right.
And I agree
Right,
with him.
right.
Like there's times when like
That's- oh, wow.
How many
Right.
times? How many times have we thrown out ideas that one brand or one company hasn't bid on, and then we can still? I'm taking that idea.
Somebody's
to the
gonna
next
pay for
company
this.
and the next brand and pitching it again. Like
Yeah.
because I know it's a dope idea. I'm just like, just because you didn't see the vision
Right.
and didn't know how to execute it,
Right.
cool, that's fine. I'll take it to another brand and they're gonna do it.
Right.
And I think that's that's something that's
That was genius, man. He was saying like, yo, it's our intellectual property. No matter, but his only difference is that he doesn't work. Well, he does work for Universal. So anytime he's saying that he puts music on the table to Universal, they own that if it's a part of a project, right?
yeah.
His thought is that no, you can lease it, and not only can you lease it, after that second year, I get my masters back, and I can buy, I don't have to buy shit back. I get my masters back, and if you want to renegotiate, then we can renegotiate. I think that's dope, man. Mm-hmm. And that's for all creators. Like anything you do, like it's
You can
tough.
borrow for a period of time.
Yeah, it's tough. Like doing something and create something that you sleep with and wake up with, and then just give it to a motherfucker to only give you 25, 30%.
And that's why what you just said is why I think he gets unfairly criticized for being crazy when he's talking about this shit passionately and
Yeah.
aggressively and angry. Because what he's saying is what we would be saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not the reason why he gets criticized. He gets criticized because he says this and it makes sense, and he says some other off-the-wall goofball shit. Maybe not goofball shit, but he says other shit that convolutes,
yeah.
that convolutes, you know what I'm saying, like this stuff.
Yeah,
It distracts
the
from what
nigga he'll reach out to Candace Owens and let people know. Like, tell Candace, tell the world that my Twitter is down.
Like, yeah, there's like yeah.
I can't. I'm not trying to hear you no more. But then you come back with something genius like this, and you're like, damn, man. Like,
It's almost like it's a bad example, but it's like the boy that cried wolf. You know what I mean? It's like not really like that, but it's like,
right.
Listen to this, listen to this, listen to this.
It's an abusive ass relationship.
Yeah,
bro.
and it's like, oh, he did say something, but man, I ain't trying to hear you this time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, and y'all are right. And I think this again is something that a conversation for another time too. It's something like that transcends across the industry. So I think this is something
We should table this for next week. I think this is a dope topic to like. Maybe there's something we could talk about, like how do creators keep their ideas?
Yes, because it goes. I think bridges back to our contracts and as creators and how we do it. So yeah, it's something we can get into. I think
Yeah, I was telling somebody the other day, man, and I was like, man, like, do y'all? When you take a job in advertising and marketing, do you negotiate your contract? Don't sign just any fucking thing, man. Like, you're supposed to get what you want to get out of that contract. It has to be something that's in that shit for you. Because otherwise, they'll fire your ass quick as hell.
Right.
And don't matter.
All right. No doubt.
Speaking of contracts. Speaking of max contracts.
Man, yeah. So, I'm going to open this with a question to you, Aubrey. Was LeBron robbed of the MVP?
Sorry.
Yeah, you crazy as hell.
Oh, my bad. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, wow.
LeBron has been robbed of the MVP before, yes. Will I say this year? No, I won't say it this year. But LeBron, man, you know what, man? LeBron pissed people
He's
off,
pissed off.
man.
He's pissed off.
But I think it's more than that, man. I think what LeBron does, man, is such
It's
empowering
bigger than rap.
black
It's bigger than rap.
man shit. That dude is a superhero black man, right? And I think that offends some people. And I feel like they will always hold that over his head.
That's the sacrifice that
He's the sacrificial lamb on that.
So,
Right.
so time out. Just so we're, I just want to get a baseline here. So
long story short, yes, he's saying LeBron did get shortchanged.
I didn't say LeBron got shortchanged. No, I didn't.
That's what I thought. That's what
No,
I
I
thought.
didn't say
That's
that.
kind of what I heard.
I want to make sure we understand.
I just wanted to clarify.
LeBron is the best player in the world.
Right now.
Yeah, right now, for sure. He's definitely the best player in the world. If you had to pick somebody right now, LeBron for a year or Giannis for a year, I'm taking Bron. No question about it. But now, who was the most valuable player to their team?
Okay, so let's talk about that.
It's all in perspective, I guess.
Let's talk about
No,
that.
it's
So-
not. It's not perspective. It's NBA record versus the last
I think
year.
it might have had a couple game difference.
I don't know.
I don't know the exact
The Bucks
season.
had the best
Talk about it.
record
Bucks
in the
had the
league.
best, and the Lakers had the second best.
And get this, MVP is based off of
Regular
the
season.
season,
Writers.
regular season.
Off of the writers voting for the regulars.
Yeah.
That's what I think is kind
yeah.
of bullshit about it. It's not, who's
So it's-
voting about it.
So, sorry to cut you. Go ahead.
It's Stephen A., Skip, and people like that, right?
So it's like, hey, me, Mr. Reporter X, one of the names that you mentioned,
Yeah.
you don't give me the good conversation that he needs on my podcasts or whatever the hell they on, Twitter or LeBron ain't jiving with you because of what a X, Y, or Z.
Well, you probably can't even talk to LeBron.
So know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So you as a sports writer now, are you going to give him the vote where it's like Giannis? I don't want to say Giannis is not thirsty for conversation. He's not. But he's
not.
more open to taking all the questions on a regular.
No, that's true.
I don't even think Giannis is comfortable talking English. Yet.
No, but you know what
so
I mean.
I don't think he's not out there like that.
No, but he's open to the dialogue. Whereas LeBron is like, LeBron knows he has to speak, but he's like, all right, I'm out.
LeBron is going to charge you to speak.
That's all in theory what I'm saying.
Right.
So with all those things being said, all those, I don't know, however many sports writers, 116 of them that vote, if LeBron only fucks with 10 of them, do you think all those other 106
is it an accurate assessment?
is an accurate assessment, or is it more like I don't fuck with you, so you're not getting my vote?
You're not
Because
getting
there's
my
no
vote.
way in hell that you can tell me that out of what is it, Tony? I mean, you probably know more than me. Is it 116 votes or
It's
112?
like 100, 101, I think. So
100
LeBron got 16 of them.
16.
Out
So
of
let's talk about
100.
that. So first of all, Giannis got the
Giannis.
both the Giannis. Yeah, sorry. Got both the
He's the president of fan club.
right. got both the the president of the fan club. Yes, got both the MVP, and defensive player.
I
of the
almost
year
forgot
award,
about that. Right.
And so
Oh, I didn't forget.
I did. Not saying I forgot, but like, yeah. So
Yeah.
with that being,
Only
so
three-
now that
only
goes.
three players in the history.
only fifth player.
Third ever.
No, fifth.
Jordan and Olajuwon. That's it.
Jordan, Olajuwon, David Robinson, and Kevin Garnett.
Defensive player and MVP?
Yep.
Check that. I don't think that's right.
It looked like
Because
you
they
got
just
notes right there.
did
He
a
read
commercial.
notes.
I'm looking.
The Bucks just did a
I'm
commercial
looking
with
at
It's
the
those
three
three.
main ones, but I think to his point, I know KG definitely got it. But with that being said, is it now the question turns that I have to put out there? Is it more of a marketing NBA thirsty strategy,
I'm looking at the article.
right? Is it more of a marketing strategy that Giannis has got to be on a pedestal, or LeBron is arguable. I mean, you also got heads like James Harden, but is voting for Giannis something that keeps the NBA as a corporation?
85 of the first place votes.
Bro, come on. I'm just
Boy,
asking.
take-
I'm
to be
just
honest.
saying.
So 16
Back-to-back MVPs.
back to back.
He
And he been, first round eliminated?
hold on, it's not postseason.
No, I get that, but I'm just
Loud,
saying.
too. I don't know. Hey, basically, I
Sorry.
don't know if Mark is loud, but this motherfucker.
Well, let's.
But I'm just saying, though, with that being said,
All right, so-
back-to-back. That's
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
serious
It's back to back
terrain.
on both. So let me throw this out to you too, because I want you guys to break this down also, because it's not just players and critics. It's people outside of the league, inside the league, talking about that he got unfairly awarded both awards from a political play, right?
Including league retired players and friends and family type shit.
Everyone
Yeah.
is saying this is
Industry.
bullshit. Yes, and they mentioned from a defensive player of the year standpoint, they mentioned Ben Simmons.
Anthony Davis.
Yes, and Ben basically and AD, right? Yes, Anthony Davis and Ben Simmons, shout out Chi-Town, but Ben, who basically guards all five
Everybody.
positions, yes, right, led the league in steals.
Second, and Harden was second to that.
And Harden was second in that, yes, and then AD, who
Leads the league in blocks, or second in blocks. I don't have the notes, but I know he's top two.
he's up there in
top
blocks.
three in
End
rebounds.
of the day, the most dominant player on both sides of the ball is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Most dominant player that we've seen in the last 5 years. Bar none.
He's more dominant than
How
LeBron.
can we say he's the most
Yeah, he's more
dominant?
dominant
Oh
than
my
LeBron.
gosh,
That's
you're
crazy.
He's definitely
You're
more
out of your
dominant than
mind.
LeBron. That's no
LeBron is a
question.
That's
game
insanity.
changer.
Now, is he a prolific winner and know how to win games like LeBron? No. I'm saying dominant.
No,
He's
LeBron goes
much
to
more
any,
dominant.
LeBron goes to any team and they're instantly finals contender, and he leaves the team and they're not even mentioned.
But tell me what team LeBron went to that he didn't have that supporting cast.
Cleveland Cavaliers years
No.
9.
They won a ring, bro. You talking
Year
about when he?
one-
Oh,
the man
1 through 9? Yeah. When he was a rookie.
The man made it all the way to
Correct. That's where Giannis is right now, and
No,
he won
no,
MVP.
No. LeBron made it to the finals against the Spurs. Got swept.
Aubrey-
With
No, what I'm saying is
Ilgauskas,
that you're talking
Boogie
about
Gibson.
We're talking about a 25-year-old kid.
We're talking about a 22-year-old kid at the time.
Aubrey, I'm glad you brought.
but that had been in the league 4 years at that point.
Giannis been in the league 5.
Okay, so what's your point, B?
We were saying
He wasn't no MVP then. He wasn't Defensive Player of the Year then.
LeBron, I don't think will ever got
No.
Defensive Player of the Year.
So what we talking about here? This dude is a freak.
You wanted to talk about where they at
La
right now,
freak.
so let's talk about that. Giannis is what in his 6th year.
Giannis came in when he was what, 19?
I think he's in his
his
sixth-
first
He's
year
like
was
about 5th,
19.
6th year.
Yeah, this is
Because he
his
got back-to-back
sixth year.
MVPs.
Bron in the yes, right,
You know?
6th year. Bron's in the 17th year. Okay, let's do a quick
An assessment.
assessment here because we talked about we were going to do the stat assessment, right? Let's start with Giannis, right? Regular
Yeah.
season, 29.5
This year.
this year,
Uh-huh.
29.5 points, right?
How many minutes to make sure we know the minutes?
30.4.
Giannis. 30.4. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
That's 5th in points, right?
Uh-huh.
13.6 rebounds.
Yeah.
That's 2nd.
Yeah.
5.6 assists.
Yeah.
23rd.
Yes. But a big man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, where he somehow in this mix stands out essentially, like as an overall player, like you were talking about, he has a 31.94 player efficiency rating.
Correct.
Which is the number one spot.
That's big dog shit.
Okay.
That's that Shaq type shit.
That's a sack shit. Now, you were saying, like, LeBron is
So what's
not as
LeBron's?
dominant.
Let's hear LeBron's stats in his minutes.
25.3 points.
So that's 4 points less, approximately, right?
Yeah.
If I heard you.
And we playing how long?
12th.
He playing 12 minutes?
No, that's 12th in points.
Oh.
He's playing 34.6
Come on, G. Come
minutes.
on. He's playing 6 minutes longer. It still has
In
less
his
stats.
17
Wait,
in
how
his
many minutes?
17th
It does not
year.
matter. We're
What
talking
is
about the
LeBron-
most
what is
dominant.
LeBron-
Let's
Wait,
not talk
wait.
about what
What is-
he
what
We're
is
doesn't
talking
have-
about the most
Hold on.
dominant.
How many minutes?
Okay, we're going to talk
How
about
Hold on.
most dominant.
many minutes is Giannis playing?
30.
And
31.
Because that nigga be in foul
Oh,
trouble.
no, 30.
No, he
30.
don't.
Yeah,
The
he
coach
do.
just, you saw what he did during the playoffs. He just don't play him like that. And Giannis don't say shit about it. That's the problem.
LeBron is still averaging 7.8 rebounds, 22nd in the league,
Yeah.
10.2 assists in his 17th year,
Sure.
first in the league,
So that means if he wanted to, he could take 3 of them assists away and put them in the points.
and
if
put
he
him in
felt
the
like
points.
it.
And
But let's
and
talk
more
about all right.
points
So
in.
that, but who is he tossing that to? I guarantee you probably 70% of that is KD, not KD. AD.
And his
No.
player efficiency is 25.55, so he's still seventh in player efficiency.
Yeah,
And this is, again, in
that
his...
says
That's
to
the
me,
old man.
Those, it doesn't have nothing to do with age. We're talking about the MVP. We're talking about the most dominant player. It's Giannis. There's no way you can even say it. Like you just read the stats, bro.
And I would bring up the playoff stats, but I guess the playoff stats don't really matter.
Playoff stats don't matter. It does matter because you just brought it up and you put it out there, but it don't matter.
What about AD? Let me hear AD's numbers.
It's not going to be as good as his.
Yeah, he got more. I guarantee AD got more blocks and rebounds.
I'm going to pull up AD's numbers,
blocks
but in
and
the
rebounds
meantime,
don't always win
in the
games.
meantime, the other thing I want to ask you about again was this is also going back to the question about did LeBron get robbed on this MVP and was Giannis given these
He was gifted.
gifted both of them because
He was gifted. Oh, he didn't deserve this.
even
He was in a conversation for sure, but he was gifted them joints.
What the hell is y'all talking about?
even LeBron's two number one haters joined ranks and said
Was that Skip?
Skip and Stephen A.
And them niggas don't fuck with Buddy.
Bro, Skip tweeted, fact check this.
I don't trust nothing Skip say. Fuck Skip.
I know he's got an ulterior motive here also, but he still said, I still want to document what Skip Bayless said though. LeBron James should have
'Cause he
won
shits
the
on LeBron
MVP.
every day.
Yes,
Then why didn't he vote for him?
He probably did.
he did. Stephen A. Smith, I voted for King James to be MVP.
See?
I think he deserves it.
Okay, because they talking about his age.
Steven Jackson,
Oh, definite.
he said
That's his man.
he's a
See,
former player.
what y'all don't
He's
understand.
a former player.
I
He's a
would
former
almost-
pla-
hold
he's a
on, what
former
y'all
player.
I would
y'all don't-
almost even say Luka might have been more MVP than Giannis.
I mean, at this point, the question is, how
Honest to
real is
God.
the hate for LeBron, and how is this impacting?
Honest
his
to God,
legacy?
my G. Tony, am I crazy? Luka might have been more MVP than Giannis.
Boy, you niggas
Oh.
is crazy.
Tell me I'm crazy. Look at the numbers, though.
He could have been.
It's
in that
arguable.
conversation.
Look at the numbers in Rex. You got a phone right
Tony
there?
got the laptop. I mean,
He could have been in that conversation.
he should be. He should have been third. It should have been LeBron, Giannis, Luka.
It was the
You
hard.
guys is crazy, yo.
Not at all.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying. My point is
guys
going
is
back to
crazy.
my
If-
point
if-
is going back to LeBron. I don't want to shift the goalpost. LeBron was robbed, is what I'm saying.
He knows it because
what-
LeBron don't
what
never
y'all-
trip.
What y'all don't understand too about Giannis Antetokounmpo is that he don't make friends. He don't have NBA friends. He's not going to camps with NBA friends. He's not playing at the YMCA with these cats. Everybody on the court is his enemy. He's not out there for this. LeBron, all those cats you talking about, all those dudes are in the same leagues. They all buddy. Look, this dude is an official warrior. He is out there to take heads.
That's why he over
And that's why
summer
he got-
camping right now.
No, that's why he got the Defensive Player of the Year. And the other reason he got MVP is because he took his team 2 years in a row to have the best record in the league.
And he's sitting on
Come
vacation
on, man.
already.
He's on vacation. So we got to figure out that second piece like LeBron had D. Wade. Like LeBron got
Y'all
AD.
got Chris
Oh,
Middleton.
That's where we're going with it.
That you goddamn right.
You got Chris
It's
Middleton.
2 All-Stars, man. They both was named first team.
Y'all got 3 All-Stars.
They was both named first team,
You got
bro.
Brook Lopez.
Oh, let me ask you this: was your boy named first team?
Who?
The white boy you was just talking about.
Luka?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was not named first team.
Yeah,
What is
he
you
is.
talking? No, he's not first
Who is
team.
this?
NBA.
Harden? LeBron?
I don't think Luka was first.
No, he's not. He's not even third team. You
No,
tripping?
yeah, he is, bro.
No, he's not, man. First team was Giannis.
Harden, LeBron.
Was Harden in there?
AD.
It might have been Harden. AD.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't know
feel Luka.
I don't. No, it wasn't Luka. For sure.
I don't think Luka.
Luka's a killer though. I ain't gonna never take
I
nothing
think
away
it
from
was
him.
Buddy.
That Chicago hate lived deep in your blood, brother.
No, I think he was.
If that motherfucker Giannis
I
played-
mean, Luka was putting up numbers on the board like Pusha T.
But
bro.
if Giannis played for Chicago, man, you have on some Greek freaks right now. Get the hell out of here, man.
Could be.
You straight haters. I'm talking about the sneakers. You would have had them
know.
motherfuckers on, be proud as a motherfucker.
Tony
Now all of a
pulling up
sudden,
that
because he
thing
played for
and all.
Milwaukee, you got some hate in your heart.
Let me see this.
Let it out, homie.
That's
All
crazy.
NBA first team. Hold on a second.
You ain't got to look. I can tell you. Luka is not on no first team all NBA. You tripping.
I don't think he can be.
Man, I ain't thinking about y'all cats, man.
Anyway,
I'm telling you. If
Consensus.
Giannis played
Consensus.
for the Pacers, which Tony B that's his home state. If Giannis played for the Pacers, man, this dude would be such a Giannis jockstrap. He would love this dude. He would be the best player in the league, the best person to ever come out of Greece to play in the NBA. But because both of these dudes is LeBron jockeys, they gonna definitely
Giannis, Harden, Luka,
nah, he just plays for.
AD.
He just plays for
Luka's
the Bucks.
not in
so
there.
fuck him.
I'm telling you.
you looking at. You said what?
That's the
I said he plays for the Bucks, so fuck him. He doesn't
Right,
play
that's
for
what
my
I'm saying.
team.
That's where y'all hate coming from. Let it out.
No, it's no hate. I don't have no reason to hate.
Right. So then why ain't he the best player in the league?
Because LeBron is.
Because Skip Bayless said he wouldn't.
No, because fuck Skip. LeBron just is. I mean, that's just a factual statement.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
facts.
factual statement. I mean, at
Once
the end
again,
of the day, we got.
the 2020 All NBA
Yeah,
first
I see him on there.
is LeBron, Giannis, Harden, Luka, and AD.
And AD. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, you're right.
All right, there you go. They had to throw a white boy in there.
No, Luka deserved that.
Now
Luka's
Luka
an
probably
animal.
got better numbers than Giannis.
No, he don't have better numbers than Giannis.
Well, it's a
but
different
Luka's
position.
an animal, man. He's clutch. He's a winner too.
Giannis
man.
ain't clutch.
Giannis ain't clutch yet.
Yeah,
But he ain't got that. He ain't got that.
Luka got the killer in him.
He got the killer. He a
Jimmy
dog.
Butler's clutch.
He a dog. Who?
Jimmy Butler buckets.
Yeah, he went to Marquette. He a dog. I'm talking about Luka. And Jimmy Butler's a
Jimmy's
dog.
a dog.
He's a dog. And that's what we missing in Milwaukee. We need another dog.
So let me end this with
Westbrook.
this: how much does hate affect your legacy as an NBA player?
I don't think
Look
it
at
does.
Barry Bonds.
Oh, that's a good
Different
point.
subject, but look at hate.
That's a good
Is your
point.
reputation
point.
right there?
We gonna have to get into that into another episode.
Barry
We cannot
Bonds is
bring up
different.
Barry
That's
Bonds. That's my
different.
favorite baseball player of all
That's
time,
different, though.
and I
But I'm
stand
saying-
by Barry Bonds to this
But
day.
I'm
We'll
saying
get into
why-
that into a different.
But it depends
episode.
if the hate is warranted. His hate became because of
Speculation?
no, that definitely
Or
was
because he didn't want
speculation.
to let y'all interview me?
No, you
He
talking
never
about
failed the test.
He never failed the
stay,
test?
Stay on the basketball. This is a whole different topic, and we are not about to get into Barry Bonds without giving it the proper time. So
or Ryan Braun.
stay on topic.
He
We
failed.
talking about the
He
NBA.
definitely he fell for he had herpes. That's
That
why
nigga
he fell.
flunked.
He had herpes.
We are talking about
was
the
taking- he was
NBA
taking
and how
pills.
hate is impacting players in the NBA. We're not talking about the MLB. How is hate impacting players in the
Fuck the
NBA?
Cubs.
They they hate on LeBron.
Yes.
They told a man to
And
shut
give-
up.
and-
They
and-
told a man to shut up and dribble.
and
And
give
you
other
heard what
people
the,
and give other people his award.
Cat from the MMA said yesterday too, right?
Nah, I missed it. What he say?
Kobe,
He said some real disrespectful shit.
what's
to
his name?
LeBron.
Kobe
Diaz who?
bitch ass dude.
I can't remember. I don't know his
White-
name. I had never seen him
MMA
before.
cat?
Colby Covington.
The
I think
homeboy was
might
like,
be his name.
he was like, "Yo, Black Lives Matters is a joke. They're communists. They're this." And then LeBron is a chicken shit
I
piece
don't
of
like all these woke
spineless,
people.
blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a
what?
spineless coward.
Like, really, dude?
And then did a press conference with the "Keep America Great" hat, and Trump called him, and he put
And
Trump
bigged
on
him up.
speakerphone on a mic. Like, it was wild. Like, what's his name? Colby
I don't know. We shouldn't even mention this sucker's
Colby
name.
hoe
man.
ass. Anyway, Yeah, that's actually a great segue into this next conversation. The question I want to ask you guys to really kick this conversation are we at a brink of another civil war in this country?
Depends who you ask.
What do you consider a civil war?
Well, I think right now we're at a tipping point where people are talking about racism at an all-time high, and it's not just black and brown people talking about it. It's white people talking about how their
rights are
If you
being
don't like
taken.
my country, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and how people are being racist against them. So I think it's important to just define that shit up front, right? So
Yep.
racism, literally, looking at the definition on Merriam-Webster, it's
Black
a
people can't be
belief.
racist.
Essentially, that's what it is saying, because defining it, right? It's a belief that a race is a fundamental determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. It's also the systematic oppression of a racial group to the social, economic, and political advantage of another, and a political or social system founded on racism designed to execute its principles. Now, prejudice, on the other hand, is
Black folks
A
definitely
simple
prejudiced.
prejudgment
yes, it's a prejudgment, and
based on whatever you feel.
That's
it's
a
an
fact.
irrational attitude of hostility directed against an individual, a group, a race, or their supposed characteristics, right?
Right.
So the major difference here, right, being prejudiced means
I have power versus no power.
yes, right?
I mean, that's essentially what it boils down to, right?
You got hate towards another race. Racism means
You can
your race
control.
has the power, meaning the political capital, the systematic power to persecute or prohibit the progress of a said group of people or said group of peoples, their prosperity in their life, right?
Yeah.
So those are the definitions. So by those definitions, the people in power are the ones that can literally institutionalize racism.
That
right?
train of thinking.
Yes, right? So, by definition, I think we've established that you cannot be a person of color in America and be a part of the systematic racism that is being institutionalized, because they're looking at us the way we talk about white privilege. They're looking at us we're privileged to be here.
Right. That's interesting. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
right?
actually kind of how you. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting
yeah.
right there. Yeah.
Because that is actually.
We're
how it is
privileged to
that you're
participate in the
privileged to be
American
here.
dream, right?
Yes.
There is some scholars that say that we've been here before. We've been here since indigenous people.
True.
That slavery was somewhat of not a facade,
a mainstreaming
but it
aspect
was
of it.
correct. It was the one that they try to highlight to say like, oh yeah, you always been beneath us, so you should be happy where you at.
Well,
right
it's all
now.
part of the building of.
It's
the
Jim
race.
Crow at the end of the day, not Jim Crow. What's the name of the book? The book that teaches you how to break black people, basically. Uncle Tom's Cabin. You know, it's that theory, man, of like how do you
Keep
separate them?
instilling those.
Yeah, you keep instilling that you always wasn't
It's
shit.
always been.
It wasn't shit.
You
Yeah,
wasn't shit. You
right?
ain't never been shit. So
You've
now
always been inferior.
now you an uppity nigga. I'm uppity because I got what? I got a job, motherfucker. I'm uppity because I'm speaking my mind. I'm uppity because I have the right to carry firearms. I'm uppity because what?
I'm doing the same shit you do.
Right.
I mean, that's essentially what it boils down
Essentially
to.
what it is.
That's what the whole. That's what the whole Karen thing is about, right?
Yeah. But
The
shit, I'm
Karens
walking on the
and
same
whatever.
fucking neighborhood as you.
Same shit. Same shit. It's the same thing. They're not used to seeing us being our godlike form.
But
You know
Karens,
what I'm saying?
like you said, Karens are actively moving into our neighborhoods, right? So
Right. That's something else we got to talk about next week.
That's another
Karens invading the hood.
Invading the
That
hood.
shit.
Invading
And
the
they
hood.
come with pit bulls and shit. Hate that shit.
Yeah,
yo.
I mean,
I
That's
fucking
crazy
hate
'cause I
that
see
shit.
that.
Hate that shit.
I
man.
feel that's another topic of conversation
Hate
too,
that
like a
shit.
whole nother topic. I feel like they'd be buying pit bulls just to spite Mike Vick, but that's a whole nother topic.
I think it's that, but I
conversation,
also think they want to show that they know what dogs is in these neighborhoods, hypothetically, quote
Bing,
unquote.
bing, bing, bing.
too. Yes,
You know what I mean? So they
true.
want to show like, hey, you ain't gonna fuck with me. You know I got a pit.
I got a pit. I'm yeah.
Man, that punk ass pit ain't got no nuts. That pit ain't got no testosterone. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yo, so that speaking of Karens, social media, like, because I've obviously driven how we finding out about these Karens too, right? I don't know if you guys have seen this joint on Netflix yet, but I watched it last night. The Social Dilemma, right? It's this crazy joint on Netflix. It's a documentary with essentially there's a representative from every social media company you could think of, and even the big internet companies like Google, right? So it's like Google, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, maybe not Reddit, Pinterest, Google, Facebook, definitely. These cats are like the head of growth, the head of development, the head of monetization, the head of acquisition. People from Twitter. They were basically saying, like, these people left because they were like, yo, like, we're creating an addiction.
I heard something about it. Yeah, go ahead.
It's insane. It's insane. And they were talking about how this relates directly to what we do, too, from an advertising marketing perspective. It was talking about how they've basically given advertising and marketing the easiest platform and cheapest way to reach all of us, and and what we become the product. Our attention is the product now. Is what they're saying, right? So
You know what's interesting about that, Tony? If you think about it, man, like that's what they did with TV first, right?
Yes.
So TV is so ingrained in our lives and culture. We'll just cut that shit on and have noise.
Background.
Just to turn it on.
I don't do it. I
used to as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to as well. But most people just cut it on for background noise.
Comfortability.
Sleep with it on all night just to have some sound
have it
and
on,
shit.
yeah.
What's gonna be next for this motherfucker? This phone next is gonna be like, hey, how do I stay on? How do I get up and do this? Like, what do you check first when you get up and get on your phone? You know?
But that's what they're saying. Like, this whole documentary is basically saying their algorithms are literally, they know so much about us that they're not just everything they're doing is triggering an emotion that they know based off of our behavior and what we're looking at, right? So it's anything from, like, us looking at pictures of an old girlfriend. It's us looking at pictures of a friend that died or something. It's us looking at pictures of memes of Trump and Biden or whatever. And they're taking all of this data.
And they're going to keep feeding it to you.
And they're using it against. So, like, they know at specific times how to trigger a certain emotion. And it's like, so it's crazy. So, obviously, they're using this in politics to literally, this documentary is showing, like, how they're also, outside of it making us addicted to social media, how they're using, how brands are using this to addict us and making us, see their brand, but how politics is using us to literally play us every day through fake news. Facebook has no, there's no regulation on that shit, right?
Yeah.
So what we're seeing, it's a matter of how much we trust what we're reading, right? So that's something I want to ask you guys about. Like, what are you guys looking at right now from who are you following? What media or news or sites are you guys following that's giving you guys your information? Because that's, I think, part of the conversation that we need to have right now is who's controlling that narrative and who we're letting control that narrative, From a media perspective versus now people have the power in their hands to say, I'm on the streets at this thing, I'm documenting in real time. How much of that is really fake news versus how much of that is real, and how are we able to decipher that?
So you gotta filtrate it. You gotta really take in X amount of it, and then you gotta use your own kind of discretion and be like, some of this sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, eat the meat, spit out the bones.
Yeah, This could be real. Sounds a little fishy, but I probably should take heed to it though.
You know what I think?
Just some complete bullshit because it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like those levels of that, and then I think, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the problem is, man, they got us in this catch-22, right? So today I went to go order some shit for my girl for her birthday, right? And I don't know where I went. I was on Zara or some shit, right? Put my email in. You know, you got to do that, right? So then all of a sudden, open up Instagram. What's the first thing you see?
Zara popping.
Zara is popping.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking earlier, I was like, man, if I just change my email address,
And put a dummy one in.
a dummy email address, they won't be able to attach it to my social media. So then I won't get it. But then if the package is late, what motherfuckers do? Check
Right.
their email.
Right.
Package got stole. Check your email. So I think it may be something like where if your shit is tied, your phone is tied to whatever publications and whatever you're looking at, that shouldn't be on your phone. That should only be on your computer. Right? So if I have a dummy email, I'm not gonna ever attach it to my phone. You know what I mean? So then that way they can't attach it to.
No, but you might Google Zara off your phone though.
And it's still going to
And
pop
then once
up.
you
That's a
Google-
fact.
Once you look at
No,
it,
it's only a fact if you're logged into your Google account.
No, because the other day when we were coming back from wherever we were coming from, and you were mentioning that Dodge 1500,
That shit came up in your feed?
bro, this shit's been on my thing for like the last 3 days, like
That's-
down to this morning.
that's nuts, man.
Like it's on my Google page, like the new Dodge 1500, like.
And you know what's been in
This
my
is like
phone
Saturday
lately,
or
yo?
Sunday. Huh.
What's been in my phone lately is these satellite phones.
And you was checking them shits out.
No, I was never checking them
We
out.
were talking about them or some shit.
We probably was talking about getting off the grid.
Yeah,
And I watch when we
100%.
get in the car and check our phone. We're gonna have all kind of
all
shit
type
up.
of shit popping up.
All type
Yeah.
of shit. Yeah,
Giannis
man.
MVP. You know what I mean? Everything.
It's gonna be ridiculous, man.
LeBron was robbed popping up in his phone now. I'm glad that's going to be popping up in Aubrey's phone now.
I promise you though, if I look in mine right now,
I just think,
guarantee it's
man-
Dodge 1500.
No, but I think like going back, like even to sports, right? Like everything we're being shown right now, like again, that's going back to this documentary. Like they're essentially saying like we're being shown content on a regular basis that is triggering emotions, hate, anger, to literally create divide. Like it's a conspiracy to create divide. Like that some people are doing, right?
Yeah.
But it's also like that from a brand perspective. It's also that from a sports perspective to keep that fuck LeBron narrative, I hate Giannis narrative going. It's all that. Like that's what draws clicks and headlines, right? So
Ram 1500 black box is a wide body monster.
they're pulling up on your joint. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
And that was a quick little 10, 15-minute conversation.
If that. Because,
That's
sorry,
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, so like I mean, again, like I think like a lot of this goes back to right now, like how it's being leveraged for politics, right? So like we have the first presidential debate coming up next Tuesday, right?
Joe Rogan ain't doing that bullshit, is he?
I thought he was doing something with Trump.
Nah,
I
it's
thought,
like
no.
on CNN. It's
Oh,
Trump
okay.
and Joe Biden, not fucking Joe Rogan.
No. Rogan was
You're supposed to interview Trump or something.
yeah, well, somebody mentioned it to Rogan. He was like, "Yo, I'll do it," and then Trump was like, "Yeah, I would love to have Rogan."
Man, fuck that. Joe Rogan ain't about to be no motherfucking presidential debate. That'd be like, at that point, man, fuck that, man. How you gonna have Joe
At that
Rogan?
point, I quit. I'm just moving to Costa Rica, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, going back to this debate though, like at this point, does a debate between two old ass white men matter? Because we already know what the fuck both of them are gonna say. It's like the whole narrative that's been built up is corn pop or whatever the fuck they called Biden when he was acting like he was a tough guy on the streets or wherever. Back
Delaware.
in Pennsylvania or Delaware, yeah. And then, Donnie, this like, I'll give it to the.
Choose your poison.
System.
Man. Choose your poison.
I think this debate
It's
is going to be
poison.
stupid, man. Like, I think it's
It's
going to
poison.
be really just loud people talking over each other, and we're not going to hear anything.
Nah, it's poison regardless, man.
One's going to be calling one sleepy and the other one's going to be calling the other one asshole.
Yes.
So I mean, at that point, like, yes, it's going to be the same talking point. So at this point, like, again, like going just back to that, does politics even matter at this point? Like from that point, can this bridge even be gapped, or is this shit just theatrics for ratings for these and advertisers for these networks and and advertising.
It's more important for us to vote for the Senate, man, Congress,
True.
local, But at the same time, the president has one of the most powerful decision-making abilities to free people from jail immediately.
Snap his fingers and make certain
he
things
can. Yeah, he
happen.
can snap his finger and make things happen, but it still has to be approved by somebody up there.
Yeah.
There's somebody up there, or wherever that up there is, there's somebody that has to approve it. But there's power there, but the power is local. You know what I mean? Like,
The power is
that's what
definitely
it is.
local. If people looked at this more from a local, regional level, I think it would totally change things. But I mean, again, we're trained to look at it from a national perspective because that's what the media is telling
That's the
us.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not just the media. That's what the politicians are telling us. That's what the world is telling us to look at, right?
It keep your eyes off the local shit that's happening.
It does. It does. And that's the question I want to ask you. If Trump doesn't win next, does shit really hit the fan? Like, at that point, like, do you think it really hits the fan? Or
Yeah,
on the flip side of that,
definitely.
if Biden wins and, Trump does and
As
Trump
crazy
doesn't
as
lose,
it sounds, it might
and
almost
Trump
be better
loses,
for Trump to win, right? I don't know. How do you look at that?
It depends on what you prepare for.
That's what I mean, like, right?
It depends on what you prepare for.
Right?
Yeah,
that's the question. Like, what's
Is
the
it
bigger?
safer if Trump wins?
I think whoever buys into the agenda that helps our people, but neither one of them gonna do it no way, right? Because that agenda has to be addressed at a local level.
But that narrative starts at a top down level, right? So like the narrative is we're gonna be in one America under Biden. We're gonna be in one America under Trump. Whoever loses that fight in the election, does that other side say that's it? We're riding.
I personally don't think hypothetically if Trump wins again, I don't think people are gonna go crazy because we've
Me
already
neither.
had 4 years of it, right? So we know what to expect. We know it's gonna be lunacy, so on and so forth. Biden wins, shit's going down.
It's
I
just
feel
going down,
Trump's
yeah.
people come back like, well, F this, fuck
Yeah,
that.
Trump's people.
Trump
gonna
wins,
definitely
everyone's
have-
going to just tuck
Fuck
their
it
tail
all.
and
This is
cry.
some bullshit. This
Yeah,
is
they're
some
going to tuck their
bullshit. I
tail
knew I
and
shoulda
cry.
did
Like,
everything.
they're going to be like, damn, like, I couldn't have convinced, I should have tried, I should have tried to convince this person. Da, da, da.
2020 can't get no worse, G.
That's what I was literally thinking in my head. I was like, Kat's at the point of going to be like, well, I can't get any worse.
Yeah, it's like it is what it is.
So let's talk about where we are. Militias.
Where
Right.
where we are.
No, where we are, where we are politically, socially, as a just cultural climate in this country right now. Like, I think, like, I'm talking to people like, Saeed, like our homie from Gumball. I'm talking to my cousins in Toronto, and I'm getting that outside perspective and having them look from outside looking in, saying, like, damn, we're following what's going on. We're talking to y'all like this is what we seeing. I'm interested to see, like, what we're thinking right now, too, because, like, we have these armed militias that are using private Facebook groups, social media groups to mobilize, right? They're mobilizing through social media. At the same time, you got Trump, shutting down, like, TikTok and WeChat and other social media channels. So there's this whole, like, struggle going on right now, Like, I think I was telling you guys, one of my OG's big homies from back home, like, he has this, black-owned independent news station. Every time he talks about, anything from a black perspective that they should
Yeah,
100%
types
understand. Yeah, bro, like, it's
Say what?
it's gone to the fact. It's
Yeah,
gone
hate on
beyond
his
just like
page.
comments on social media. Like, these things are going viral, and like it's getting to the point where there's like groups that are organizing on Facebook against him, like that are mobilizing and saying like he's literally just sharing like both sides of the news, but he's also sharing stories that impact the black community because he's a black man. Like,
He's saying from his perspective as well, right?
yeah, he's a dude that went through the system. He just got out of prison and started a successful media company. But at the
Right.
same time, like, you went from him being loved for doing that to when Black Lives started mattering to yo, man, fuck this guy. Like, he's trying to start a race war. So, like, at the same time, that's what I'm saying. Like, these militias are pulling up, they're pulling up to rallies and counter protests, or to protest, to counter protest with fucking army guns and shit
Right.
in open carry states. So, like, my question is, with these people with them organizing, and we've seen, aside from them, we've talked about this shit, like, how, like, what do we do? Historically, when you think about the NRA and everything, you're thinking about these rural areas. You're thinking about these militias. I think the crazy thing is what they're not accounting for is that obviously what we know is they're not the only ones doing this shit. We have access to guns and ammo too.
Yeah.
The Black Gun Owners Association.
NAAGA, National African American Gun Association. Yeah.
Bro, they said there's been a crazy spike.
I'm sure.
It's the top, actually, right now. People of color and women right now are the top people that are making purchases of firearms and doing like all the legal training and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So
And that's only
tell
one
me-
part of it, right? Like I think, that's a great part, right? And the other part of it is what I always hear Killer Mike say, and then my grandmama used to say, you gotta know how to farm your land, fish, hunt, load your
Defend.
freezer up, and defend your crib. So there's a lot of different pieces to hypothetically like a quote unquote revolution kind of thing happen or a civil unrest. That's only one piece.
You got the other pieces that need to fold.
The
in.
other piece is grocery stores is going to be. Remember how shit was when this COVID shit first hit? Grocery stores was closed down. Motherfuckers was freaking out over toilet paper. You couldn't find hand sanitizer. That ain't shit. That ain't shit compared to what's going to be going down. Because ain't nobody going to be open.
Yeah, no.
Black
And-
folks ain't going to work.
and
We're
it's-
not going in the essential healthcare workers. We ain't going to work for what?
And the shit that would be open at that point would be ran through.
Man. So, yeah, we got to, man. It's hard to say, man. And I think, me and Rex talk about it a lot to an exhausting degree. But I think that if we don't have our land, our own sense of government within our own land, whether that's you and your homie that live in the same neighborhood or you and some black folks that buy a piece of
Real
property.
quick, was everything that you're saying right there? One of the white homies yesterday hit me and said he's got what did he say? 40,000,
40K.
40K of the ammo.
Oh, 40,000 ammo?
Something crazy. They grouped up and bought a bunch of land in like in the Northwest. Everything that you're saying, that's what they already did.
Yeah. You got to put it.
And
That's
that's
And
something
they
scary.
said they got
that's
6
some-
months supply of
good thing,
hygiene
though-
The supply-
and edible
the
and
supply
edibles or whatever you want to call it.
The
right.
40,000 don't mean nothing if you ain't alive to use it.
No, but
True.
But that's something I want to talk about too, because as we talk about, getting into gun rights and like ammo and everything too, right? Like, there's a study that's shown since, around 3 million firearms were purchased, right?
When?
Since March, right?
Oh, man.
3 million.
Can you invest in it?
Yeah,
Can you
it's
buy
crazy.
stock in that
That's
shit?
crazy because Smith & Wesson stock is like on the rise right now.
gotta be
Oh, I
crazy.
bet it's
Yeah.
crazy.
We need to look into that.
Yeah, no, it stays on my thing. It's definitely.
Nobody listen to that. That's not a advice to.
Yeah.
No, but 3 million, right? That's just firearms purchased since March when the COVID, like triggered by the COVID shutdown, right?
Yeah, paranoia.
Yes, exactly, right? So that same study also showed specifically since March 13th, when this is when Trump first declared the national emergency, right? Firearm sales then spiked crazy over the next 2 weeks from there, right?
Yeah.
On one day, March 16th, one day alone, there were 176,000
Applications.
sales, orders,
Good googly moogly.
That's crazy as hell.
right? Now, across March, there were another 700,000 firearms bought, more than normally bought over that period of time, right? So,
That's what I'm saying. Like, guns is not the means to the end, right? That's just
It's a medium.
It's a medium.
It's a safety and it's also a bartering tool.
It's a tool, right?
It's
like
a safety mechanism and a bartering
if
tool.
you don't know how to survive in basic times, that's going to be your problem.
That's a problem.
Survival with no electricity, no water, none of that type of shit. If you can figure that out, man, then you can figure everything else out, man. But also prepare for it, though. You know, like, this ain't no conspiracy podcast by any means. But if if you are people and you rock with us, then yeah, train yourself. You should definitely know how to take care of yourself in all those kind of mediums that we're talking about.
100%.
You know, you should definitely know how to do that. And take care of the ones that don't, in your family that don't know how to do that.
Incorporate
Or that can't do that.
That can't do that. We all got folks in our family that's old, man. They ain't going to be ready to pick up no AR or no AK. They ain't going to be ready for that, man. Like,
and some of them are physically capable of doing it, but they ain't go. That's not in them, right?
No.
So like, we can't expect them to do that, right? And again, this is not.
It's not necessarily in us.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I think the thing that's scary about this is these numbers are not just like these are numbers across the board, right? Like there was a 50% increase in June, around the time when the protests like really started kicking off over the police brutality too, right? And so like I think to me what's crazy is when you look at the shit on Facebook groups or whatever, like the groups we've been talking about the last few months, right? Like shit we seen with these, crazy people, racist groups and everything. They're talking like they're the only ones with guns and ammo, but the crazy thing right now is the highest increase in firearm sales.
From black folk and women.
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
But they've had the other part on lock for a long time. The ammunition.
So that's the problem, right? So the availability and the access to ammunition outside of now it's also becoming like we talked about. There's a shortage on the guns too, right? But it was more about who cares about. If
I ain't seen that yet.
Yeah, if you're in the right city, right?
Well, no. I'm saying like here,
On the
like when we
common
were
side,
in
yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah, like we went the other day. Remember how empty it looked?
it was empty,
was
right?
empty.
It looked
It
like
was
it was
crazy.
like that place had been like
Zombie City.
Oh yeah.
It looked like it was on a close, like the store was closing and they had clearance sales, right? But then again, you guys are talking about like, you go to Wisconsin, you go
Certain online.
elsewhere, and it's crazy, right? So, like, that's the other thing is, like...
I'm telling you, Tony, be that hunting, that fishing, that deep sea fishing we was talking about, like, that stuff is way more effective to feed your family.
But that's not about the but it still goes back to access and availability, right? Like before it gets to even get into like you have to have access and availability to these firearms to be able to do that, right?
So like water.
Right. And you gotta have water. Water is most important.
Yeah. So the question I wanted to ask you was, you have
Minnesota
a FOID card, right? So, and you, Aubrey, you're. Coming from Wisconsin, like
I don't want to talk about my status.
No, but coming from Wisconsin, you have legal access. Like we talked to at stores here. When you talk to them, you're like, "Oh, you're from Wisconsin."
Wild West.
So, like, as I'm waiting on my FOID card. Like, so, like, I'm asking you guys, like, coming again from those backgrounds where you guys have been recently to gun stores. You guys have seen, checked online recently, right? Like, how hard is it right now to get not just a gun, like, how hard is it to get a quality gun?
The right setup.
The right gun. How hard is it to get ammo, and what's the wait time?
Well, if you don't know, right, I guess it's probably like if you really...
Illinois and Wisconsin is two different... They must be two different countries.
So let's start with Illinois then.
Most stores you're probably not just going to walk into and just see what you want and leave out, or see what you want and get it right there. You might need to do a little online or get it from, like another vendor and then have somewhere that you can ship it to. There's a lot of... Yeah, if you're just getting familiar with it right now, you might get kind of overwhelmed and be like, damn, where do I figure this all out real quick?
Wisconsin is quick. Like
If you live there. Or if you're a resident.
or
of
if you
there.
have an ID from
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
if you're a resident of there, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
quick. It's very fast. It's 15, 20 minutes if you have an interesting name. If your name is, Tom Jones
It's
or
not
some
a common
shit,
name.
not a common name, it may take you a couple of hours.
If it is a common name.
If it's
Damn,
a common
so
name.
I got to plan for a few hours if I'm coming through. Okay, that's good.
No, your name,
your name will
no,
come
you
right back.
good. You'll be in and out of there in 15 minutes.
Oh, you're saying if it's not a common
that's
name.
If it's not a common name. Like my name, my government name is not very common. I literally went outside, smoked a cigarette. By the time I came back in, he's like, "Oh, you ready to go?
Good. Okay.
What you want?"
Okay.
And this place, I'm not gonna mention them because they're not paying us, but this motherfucker had guns on top of guns, behind guns, behind guns. Am I lying, Mark?
Facts, he did.
It was like you know how you walk into a gun shop
Stacks
or something
on
like that, and you
racks.
see like a row of guns. If you looked hard enough, there were more guns behind those guns.
So he was like, "Damn, I can open this wall up." And
Yeah, and then like something that me and Mark purchased some stuff, and then homeboy left out the store and walked behind the store and went to a shed
he
and
had
came
another
back
joint.
with that.
He's like, he had a stash.
I was like,
of
"Oh, I
that.
need another one." Then he went back and got another one. I'm like, holy, but Jesus, like it was like that. It's that quick.
damn, man.
And you know what? And let's be clear. Me and Mark and you are about the sport of firearms.
Yes.
We don't support violence. We don't support none of that shit. We are about the sport and hanging out as brothers to go out on the weekend, let off a little steam from our bullshit jobs on the weekends just to have a little fun and let off steam. So dig that. It's all in fun. It's all in good nature.
Dig that,
But you want Tess?
but don't get it twisted.
20 more minutes.
I'll
Yeah, let's get there.
uh,
Let's end this on a good note, a fun ass note.
no.
When was the last time? Hold on. When was the last time y'all been to a strip club, yo? When was the last time y'all been to a strip
I don't
club?
know.
And
I
would
don't
you
know
go
what that-
today? Would you go to a strip club right now, Tony B?
right now?
Right. I mean, if we could leave,
Only if I can get some of
if we can leave ear
lemon
hole,
Lou.
yeah, if we can leave
Only
ear
if I can
hole,
get them lemon Lou.
we can leave ear hole right now. Head out south and go to a booty club. Would you go?
I mean, you know what? I'm not going.
it outside?
I'm not gonna.
Is it outside?
Is there a
With the
drive-through?
mosquitoes
Is
and
there a drive-through?
Victoria's Secret oil?
Is it outdoors?
I'm not gonna.
Outdoor.
I'm not gonna lead our followers in the wrong direction or steer them in a certain direction.
Yeah.
Based on what my decision.
This is
might
only your
could be.
decision. Would you go?
Nah.
Unless it's outside.
And this is awesome.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of them drive-through joints. All right. What I want to jump back to real quick though, before we end this conversation, is preparedness, right? Like, so right now, we're all hearing on social media, and I say all this to say, like, this isn't about like which side you are on. Everyone is hearing it from different sides,
Yeah,
right?
I'm in a couple like liberal gun groups, just to see in perspective. Like I'm so overwhelmed by just the names. Yeah, I mean, like not the name of firearms, but the names of the liberals versus the left wing versus the right wing versus the Trumpers versus the, But anyway,
Everybody.
yeah. But it's white cats that are just like looking at the same thing as the Trumpers, as the extreme of this and that, and the ultra patriarchs and all that shit. And they're like, yo, we just got firearms just for the sport and, want to keep up.
Just right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, so like that. I guess that's the question when I ask you. Like you said, we're people that are going to, gun ranges from a protection, safety standpoint. Getting prepared. That's one way of getting prepared. Based on what you're hearing and saying, hearing and seeing right now, what would you say are like basic steps? And not again to be divisive, but for Black and brown people to the basic steps for them to take right now just to stay ready. I guess.
I mean, it's never too late, but I mean, I guess your first step would be to
Educate.
educate. Yeah, I mean, to figure where you can get some sort of legal firearm action. I mean, generally, your first step would have been like having a FOID, I guess, right? You know, what I mean, if you're in the state of Illinois, that's for the most part. If you want to be compliant, you need to have that before you can.
Always be legal.
Yeah. You know
Always
what I
be
mean?
legal.
Because if you need to use it, you know what I mean. Now you're in a double jam, but
And read books, man. Fuck the internet shit. Go get you some books, man.
yeah, watch the fake news.
Yeah,
And
just-
stay away from. I mean, watch meaning like watch out. You know.
Yeah. Go read some books, man.
I mean, I do think. Wait, what more just said? You're right. Books definitely get off the shut down and read books. All right, shut off the digital.
Question some certain things.
But I think what Mark said is also important too. Like I remember, like when Obama was first running for president, like I was watching Fox News and MSNBC and CNN and NBC, trying to get a well-rounded view. So like, I think that ties into how we what are we doing now? Like from a leadership standpoint, we can't look at media to lead us. Everything is skewing us a different way. We know social media is skewing us a different way. We got people that are stepping to the front lines in this joint right now, right? Like, my son, like you mentioned earlier, I think is somebody that has been very vocal. But then you got your standards like Cap, LeBron, Naomi Osaka, like from tennis, like this is I think these are the people leading in charge of sports, right? Mm-hmm. Kenny Smith, shout out Kenny Smith, the homie. He took a stand when he stood with the NBA players when they walked out, and he walked up the set. Mm-hmm. The person I think is getting like kind of not necessarily seen is Cube. Cube is pushing this contract for Black America.
He's got
right?
documentation with it.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yo, we ain't come like we need to be like we ain't coming to the table if you're not
doing something,
reading the contract of Black America and considering this in your plans, right?" So, do you feel like this is being taken seriously, or
you talking about the Cube thing, or like what is being taken seriously?
This whole cultural
Listen,
push,
man.
like,
Yeah, I don't, Tony. I don't know. Rex may be able to speak on it, man. What I don't want us to do is be able to advise folks on what they should do. Mm-hmm. I think what you should do is treat your family as your tribe, and teach them how to respect, love, appreciate, and take care of themselves. So then, when it's time for us to come together, they know how to treat other Black and brown people. You know what I mean? Even white folks too. Like if you raise your family correctly, then it makes it that much easier, man, for us to figure out what that plan is. I wouldn't ever say what, our plan, your plan, Rex Cruz plan is on microphones. Like, that's not the world's business. I think what it's about, man, is being able to take care of home base first. Teach your peoples how to do the things we talked about: fish, eat, swim, hunt. Barter, all that kind of shit. You have to teach them that kind of thing, man. So they can, basically what we got to go back to, not literally and physically because it was slavery, but we got to go back to 1900, 18, blah, 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 when we knew how to take care of the land around us, our family around us, how to surround one another, protect one another, how to hide one another when they need to be hid. It's that type of shit, man. It's not the firearms. It's not the politics, man. It's about your family being your kingdom and running that shit like it's your kingdom and training your family how to be right. You know what I mean? That's what I think it's about, man. I don't think we can, once we start getting into the conversations about militias and all that shit is dope. But I can't waste my time worried about what these motherfuckers is doing when my family ain't right. You know what I mean?
No, but this isn't a conversation about telling people how they need to approach it. It's a conversation telling people about these are conversations that are happening and how you need to be aware of them.
Well, go read a goddamn book. Libraries is free. That's what I say, man. Like I'm not gonna be the dude to try to tell you.
It ain't about advising people though. It's about informing people. Like I said, like it's not just about telling them about one side. It's about telling them this is what's going on both sides. You make an informed decision. We ain't guiding people on that shit. We're just telling people about the shit.
should be aware.
What the hell? Pause. What you doing over there, hell?
I was turning the microphone.
You was rubbing on that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I should definitely be aware. You know, and if they're just getting aware, and I don't want to say it's too late, but yeah, definitely should become aware.
It's awareness. So that's what I want to just correct, or course correct where I think it was going just now. It's never meant to be about. I don't even want to put it out that we're trying to influence people's train of thought. That's again why it's called Three Sides to a Story. Mm-hmm. We're here to give three perspectives. We're here to try to come to, based on those three perspectives, to come to a common understanding. Because at the end of the day, there has to be truth. If we don't have truth, there's no way we can have conversations or debate. Truth has to be agreed upon.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I think the truth, what I keep going back to, read fucking books. Read books, prepare your family. That's for anything, though. That doesn't matter for any of the subjects we've been talking about.
Right? I don't think that's it. It's truth. There's truth that has to be agreed upon, even when you go to read those books. Like those books can't influence.
Oh, I can't tell you the truth. What you're gonna find from a book? I'm not quite sure I understand what you're saying.
I'm saying there's common truths that we have to agree upon.
No, we don't.
Yes, there are. There are human truths that everyone has to align on. If we're not aligning on basic truths...
Okay, so then raise your family correctly and read a book. That's a human truth.
Yes. That's
human truth. What book you decide to read, that's on you, depending on what you want.
I don't know if that's necessarily human truth. I think that's a great piece of advice.
A human insight. Yeah, I get it. That sounds advertising. And I get why you say it, though, because it's something that can unite us all. There is no uniting us all. It's my village and the people that I care that are around me to unite that. What you think, Rex?
I agree.
That was the final point.
I guess that is the common.
Next?
It's the universal common, not the universal, but it's the group common truth.
Yeah.
That was the final point. What's next? Like, is it? Have we already surpassed this boiling point?
Yeah, love on your people, man.
And we just got to focus on us.
Love your people, challenge your people, read, and just, yeah, that's it, man.
Mic check.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Yo, you've been rocking with Three Sides to a Story. We're going to holler at you next week.
Next week. Hopefully, if Earhole let us back in this motherfucker with all this shit, we on board.
How close or how far is Appleton?
All right. Appreciate you,
Beethoven.
Don't forget to check us out on social media. Shout out to Beethoven. Don't forget to check us out on social media at Three Sides to a Story.
I found it.
We'll be back.
Here, I like.
All right.
Talk to y'all. Peace.